A very good afternoon. You're watching the midday news on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the headlines. After the Pulwama terror attack, India revokes Pakistan's most favoured nation tag. Cabinet Committee on Security takes decision. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley asserts India will globally isolate Pakistan. Terror attacks will not weaken India, says Prime Minister Modi. Warns Pakistan that perpetrators of Pulwama attack will pay a heavy price. Urges opposition to stay united in fight against terrorism. Home Minister Rajnath Singh leaves for Srinagar to review situation post-terror attack. Will brief all party meet after he returns from Valley tomorrow. NSG-NIA teams leave for Jammu and Kashmir to join the investigation. Prime Minister Modi flags off India's first semi-high-speed train, Vande Bharat Express in New Delhi. The indigenously manufactured train will run between Delhi and Varanasi. And 2 days after CAG report was tabled in Parliament, France responds to reports about the Rafale fighter jet deal, reiterates there was no pressure on it to choose a particular company as offset partner for Dassault Aviation. Following the Pulwama terror attack, India today withdrew the most favoured nation status to Pakistan. The decision was taken in the meet of Cabinet Committee on Security chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The meet was held to discuss the security situation in the wake of the worst terror attack that claimed 37 lives of CRPF personnel. Home Minister Rajnath Singh, Union Minister Arun Jaitley, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj were also present at the meeting. And briefing media, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said that the MEA will initiate all possible diplomatic steps which are to be taken to ensure the complete isolation of Pakistan from the international community.
The Ministry of External Affairs will initiate all possible steps, and I'm here referring to all possible diplomatic steps which have to be taken to ensure the complete isolation from the international community of Pakistan, of which incontrovertible evidence is available of having a direct hand in this gruesome terrorist incident. The most favoured nation status which had been granted to Pakistan stands withdrawn. The Ministry of External Affairs will also engage with the international community to make sure that the comprehensive convention on international terrorism, which has been pending for over 3 decades before the United Nations, particularly because of the definition of the word terrorism, is now adopted at the earliest. As far as our security forces are concerned, they will be taking all possible steps. Firstly, to ensure that full security is maintained, and secondly, to ensure that those who have committed this heinous act of terrorism and those who have supported it actively are made to pay a heavy cost for it.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has warned Pakistan that the attacks such as the one on the CRPF soldiers in Pulwama will not weaken India. The Prime Minister said that those responsible for the attack will have to pay a very heavy price. In a hard-hitting speech, Prime Minister Modi said that security forces will be given complete freedom to crack down on terrorism.
हमारे सुरक्षा बलों को पूर्ण स्वतंत्रता दे दी गई है। हमें अपने सैनिकों के शौर्य पर उनकी बहादुरी पर पूरा भरोसा है। मैं आतंकी संगठनों को और उनके सरपरस्तों को कहना चाहता हूं कि वे बहुत बड़ी गलती कर चुके हैं। बहुत बड़ी कीमत उनको चुकानी पड़ेगी। मैं देश को भरोसा देता हूं कि हमले के पीछे जो ताकतें हैं, इस हमले के जो भी गुनहगार हैं, उन्हें उनके किए की सजा अवश्य मिलेगी।
The Prime Minister urged to the opposition parties to stay united in the fight against terrorism. He also condoled the death of the CRPF jawans in yesterday's attack.
पक्ष में या विपक्ष में, हम सब राजनीतिक छींटाकशी से दूर रहें। इस हमले का देश एकजुट होकर के मुकाबला कर रहा है। देश एक साथ है, देश का एक ही स्वर है और यही विश्व में सुनाई देना चाहिए, क्योंकि लड़ाई हम जीतने के लिए लड़ रहे हैं। पूरे विश्व में अलग थलग पड़ चुका हमारा पड़ोसी देश अगर ये समझता है कि जिस तरह के कृत्य वो कर रहा है, जिस तरह की साजिश रच रहा है, उससे भारत में अस्थिरता पैदा करने में सफल हो जाएगा, तो वो ख्वाब हमेशा हमेशा के लिए छोड़ दे। वो कभी ये नहीं कर पाएगा। इस समय बड़ी आर्थिक बहाली के दौर से गुजर रहे हमारे पड़ोसी देश को ये भी लगता है वो ऐसी तबाही मचाकर भारत को बदहाल कर सकता है, उसके ये मंसूबे भी कभी पूरे होने वाले नहीं हैं।
All right, our colleagues are joining us for more on this story. We have with us Panchanan Mishra joining us live from Vijay Chowk. Also, Akhilesh Suman is joining us live from the newsroom. First, let's go across to Panchanan. Panchanan, speaking about the CCS meet, now this is the worst terror attack to take place in Kashmir since the start of the century. And the centre has now said that it will ensure Pak isolation. And after that meeting chaired by PM Modi, India says that it is mulling tough action against Pakistan and will prepare a dossier on the suicide attack. It has also ended the most favoured nation status to Pakistan.
Aishwarya, definitely India reacted very hard, and today the Cabinet Committee on Security met in the morning under the chairmanship of Prime Minister, and it took a very strong decision, and it's a very rare one also regarding the withdrawal of MFN status from the Pakistan. It was done in 1986, but now the Ministry of Commerce will initiate, and with the Ministry of External Affairs will start the process of doing so. And it's a very tough step. It's a very hard step to withdrawing this MFN status, because earlier we have known that the main incident happened and there was a talk about it. But this time it's very decisive moment, and the government has withdrawn this status. And not only this, but also the isolation of Pakistan on various fronts on the world level will also be done by the government. So in very strong language, the Prime Minister also reiterated that the terror attack is condemnable and it will not be pardoned, and the culprits will be brought to book. So we have to see that now what further steps government is going to take, because it has shown the intention of how it may going far away to tackle the situation.
Absolutely. You stay with us. We'll just come back to you, Panchanan, because we need to understand what does this ending of MFN status really mean. Let's go across to Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, India accorded Pakistan the MFN status way back in 1990. 2006, and after more than 2 decades even, Pakistan has actually failed to reciprocate. So this was a decision that was long time pending, isn't it?
Right, you know that India has always been of the view that there should be good relations with Pakistan, and the good relations with Pakistan will also mean that there should be good trade relations with Pakistan. And many times there was an understanding that, if there is a good trade relationship with Pakistan, maybe there will be a good relationship with Pakistan government on other fronts also.
Yes.
And that may, result into reducing the menace of terrorism also. But I think it did not work. And India had many experiences that whenever India tried to take any peace initiative, either from Indian side or it came from some corner of Pakistan, but when India engaged in a peace initiative, some attack came from Pakistani side, and then the whole peace initiative had collapsed. So I think MFN status is one major thing that India has now decided, that no relations with Pakistan can reduce terrorism. So I think it is total disillusionment from the side of India, because India has always been thinking that yes, we have to have a trade relationship so that the sense of enmity between the two countries may vanish because of this. And you know that from Wagah border and also from Kashmir side, we have normal trade routes, but those trade routes had been working, that had been stopped, but trade had never stopped. But now, by giving MFN status, I hope that we have almost 2,000 crore rupees import from Pakistan, various goods. So that will be stopped, and that will also create further pressure on Pakistan,
yes,
that whatever trade they were having, that will also be stopped. So I think India has given a strong signal that we understand that Pakistan is not going to change.
Right.
And this is a one small signal, and I am hoping that some other signals will be coming in a day or two, because we had been asking many a times that what is the need of having diplomatic relations with Pakistan if it doesn't work. So there may be some sort of reduction in diplomatic relationship also.
Absolutely.
So I think we have to wait and watch that how we can reduce and make Pakistan redundant diplomatically in this whole region. And if you see the whole reaction from our neighboring countries, the SAARC countries, they have all made a statement against Pakistan in yesterday terrorist attack, and they have said that we stand with India on this issue.
Absolutely. So the idea is to isolate Pakistan diplomatically and also squeeze the country's industry as well. Both of you, please stay with us. We'll just come back to you because we need to also talk about the situation there in Jammu and Kashmir. We understand that Home Minister Rajnath Singh has left for Srinagar to take a stock of the situation after attending a meeting on Cabinet Committee on Security. Rajnath Singh will hold review meetings with the senior security and police officials to make ground-level assessment and review further operational actions. After his return from Srinagar, the Home Minister will also convene an all-party meeting tomorrow. And experts of anti-terror commando force, that is the National Security Guard, and the investigators of the NIA or the National Investigation Agency left for Jammu and Kashmir today to join the probe into the terror attack in Pulwama. At least 37 CRPF jawans were killed in the suicide attack on Thursday in one of the deadliest terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. The incident took place when a Jaish-e-Mohammed suicide bomber rammed a vehicle carrying over 1,000 kilograms of explosives into a bus carrying CRPF jawans in Pulwama district that also left many critically wounded. Now, more than 2,500 Central Reserve Police Force personnel, many of them returning from leave to rejoin duty in the valley, were travelling in the convoy of 78 vehicles when they were ambushed on the Srinagar-Jammu highway in Awantipura in South Kashmir. The Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terror group has claimed responsibility for the attack. The police have identified the suicide bomber as Adil Ahmed from Pulwama. All right, let's go back to our colleague Akhilesh Suman, who's joining us from Newsroom. Akhilesh, would like to know from you, what are your sources telling you? Because the experts of the Anti-Terror Commando Force, NSG, as well as the investigators of the NIA will arrive in Jammu and Kashmir shortly to join the probe into the attack. And what are your sources telling you? What is the investigation has so far revealed? Because there's been also the talk of, change in the tactics of terrorists, because IED has been used after a long time. So what other details are emerging?
Aishwarya, because this thing has happened when, this type of experiments and this type of attacks were taking place some parts of, Middle Eastern countries like Syria. In Afghanistan also it has taken place. So the type of, unrest that is going on in Afghanistan, and there is an effort to, create a situation of peace in Afghanistan, and there are talks between Taliban and USA also, and Pakistan is also trying to facilitate. So the whole scenario in this whole region has changed. And Pakistan, I think, is trying to take advantage of this scenario that is getting a bit tilted in its favor, because America wants to talk to them. And what we have got that, USA and Taliban may talk in Pakistan. So I think this is the situation when India had always been telling that if you take help of Taliban, if you take help of Pakistan, the menace of terrorism will increase rather than it is going to be decreased. And the result has come that the type of attack we have seen, it has never happened in our in recent past.
Yes.
So I think, Aishwarya, this is a red herring for everyone who wants to talk to Pakistan or who wants to talk to Taliban and have a daydream that there will be a peace in the region. So you have to take concerted action against terrorism. All its financial mechanism have to be stopped and cut off, and that is how you can pressurize a country like Pakistan, who has become a sanctuary of terrorists. And this is the state policy of Pakistan, whoever comes to power. And when Imran Khan came to power, there were some initial hopes,
Yes.
but later on, government of India also realized that Imran Khan is the one who is trying to internationalize the Jammu Kashmir situation to the most. And none other Prime Minister of Pakistan had done so in the recent past. So I think now it is a proved thing that Pakistan is on its old track. The nexus between civilian government of Pakistan and the army and terrorism has again been alive, and again they have been rather emboldened because of one or other country is trying to
Right.
give them some importance in Afghanistan. So our sources are telling that we are trying to contact all those stakeholders, be it America, be it government of Afghanistan, be it European Union. The European Union has also taken very strong stand on this.
All right.
Germany, other people, other countries, we are trying to create a peace in Afghanistan and try to anyway marginalize the terrorists. So Indian government and Ministry of Foreign Affairs officials are in touch with all the foreign governments,
All
and
right.
that is why you saw that the statements are pouring in against the terrorist act yesterday. And this situation and this engagement is going to continue. But you need some dossier, like you need some sort of proof that you can give that this is our assessment and this is how it has happened. So you have to give some chronology that how it happened. Though yesterday Ministry of External Affairs had given a statement that it is Jaise Mohammed hand, and
Yes.
it is also said that Pakistan should end all support to terrorists, and it is a demand. So it is a very strong statement as far as diplomatic language is concerned, and I hope that it is going to much more stronger by the evening or by tomorrow, Aishwarya.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Home Minister Rajnath Singh is going to arrive in Jammu and Kashmir to take stock of the situation. Meanwhile, the bodies of the martyred personnel will be brought to Delhi's Palam Airport, and a wreath laying will also be done in the national capital. You stay with us, Akhilesh. We'll just come back to you. Meanwhile, India came down heavily on Pakistan after the Pulwama terror attack carried out by Jaish-e-Mohammed, and it asked the neighboring country to stop supporting terrorists and dismantle terror infrastructure operating from its soil. The MEA in a statement blamed the Pakistan government for providing full freedom to the dreaded terrorist Masood Azhar-led organization to carry out and expand its operation in India and target India with full impunity. The government also demanded the international community to take steps to support the proposal to list the terrorists, including JEM chief Masood Azhar, as a designated terrorist, and to ban terrorist organizations operating from territories controlled by Pakistan. Meanwhile, China again has declined to back India's appeal to list JEM chief Masood Azhar as a global terrorist by the United Nations following the Pulwama attack. All right, let's take a reaction from Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, this is indeed very, very frustrating because, China has once again declined to back India's appeal to list JEM chief Masood Azhar as a global terrorist by the United Nations. China, of course, is one of the permanent members of the UNSC. And, this stance by China really blocking India's efforts as far as anti-terrorism, operations are concerned.
That China knows what he is doing and what they are thinking, but that this type of tactics will not work in the long run. India had always been cautioning China that the type of having a hobnobbing relationship with Pakistan, which is a sponsor of terrorism, and supporting dreaded terrorist like Masood Azhar will be counterproductive. And that one attack in one country doesn't mean that it is not going to attack in other countries. And China is facing that in the whole Uyghur movement in China is also of the same tune. Radical, terrorists are there. And China, because China is not a democratic country, media cannot enter there, media cannot go there, and they want to portray whatever they want. But China is facing the situation. But it is very tactical and strategic, stand of China not to include Jaish-e-Mohammed in international terrorist list. Even though we had been, thinking and we had got assurances from Chinese side many a times that, China is with India as far as terrorism is concerned. But the question is, you have to come out in open. And if you don't come out in open, if you talk to the sources and in close quarters, it doesn't matter anything. So, that India understands this stand of China, and it doesn't matter too much. But it is the thing that it is a mirror to Chinese, that if something big terrorist attack happens in China, it has happened before the Chinese embassy recently in Pakistan, in Afghanistan also. So they have started facing such a type of a smaller thing. But I know that if one is adamant that they will keep supporting such type of terrorists, such a menace, so I think that they have to face consequences. Later, India had warned China earlier. So it is China's own, it is self-goal that China is trying to get it, but it doesn't happen. For some economic reasons like making a CPEC that is hampering India's sovereignty also, China is going there. China is supporting, trying to take sympathy of terrorist organizations that are working in Pakistan so that they should not disturb the CPEC in making. But I think the type of menace that Pakistan has developed under its territory, America has had a taste with having good relations with Pakistan when World Trade Tower was attacked. And I think China going too close to Pakistan, going inside the territory, creating an economic establishment there, I think in coming days, if they do have the same stand, I think they are also going to face the consequences like America had once faced.
And in fact, India had started pushing for Azhar Mahmood's listing way back in 2008, 2009 after the Mumbai terror attack. And after that, again, China had put it on technical hold. We have to wait and watch how, what happens this time. India, China always standing in the way of listing JEM chief as the global terrorist. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, as well as thank you so much, Panchanan Mishra, for joining us and giving all the updates on that big story. Meanwhile, reacting to the Pulwama attack, Congress President Rahul Gandhi has said that his party and the entire opposition is fully supportive of the government and the security forces. He said that India will not be divided by the horrific acts of violence. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh also said that India can never compromise with terrorism.
That the aim of terrorism is to divide this country, and we are not going to be divided for 1 second. No matter how hard people try, this country and the entire opposition is going to stand together. We are going to stand with our Jawans, and we're going to stand with the government.
Let's get you some other news now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today flagged off India's first semi-high-speed train, the Vande Bharat Express in New Delhi today. The semi-high-speed train 18, which has been recently named as the Vande Bharat Express, can run up to a maximum speed of 160 kilometers per hour. The integral coach factory in Chennai is the force behind the completely in-house designed and manufacture of this train. which was completed in just 18 months. With a total seating capacity of 1,128 passengers, the train has 16 air-conditioned coaches, of which 2 are executive class.
बीते 4.5 वर्षों में हमने भारतीय रेल की स्थिति को बहुत ईमानदारी के साथ, बहुत परिश्रम के साथ बदलने का प्रयास किया है। वंदे भारत एक्सप्रेस उन कार्यों की ही एक झलक है। बीते वर्षों में रेलवे उन सेक्टर्स में रहा है जिसने मेक इन इंडिया के तहत मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में बहुत प्रगति की है। साथ ही देश में रेल कोच फैक्ट्रियों का आधुनिकीकरण, डीजल इंजनों का इलेक्ट्रिक में बदलने का काम और इसके लिए नए कारखाने भी शुरू किए गए।
Former President Pranab Mukherjee will release a compilation of the speeches of Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today. The book comprises selected speeches delivered by the Vice President at more than 400 meetings since his assumption of office on 11th of August 2017. The compilation provides an insight into his vision and perspective on a wide range of issues confronting the nation. The book contains 92 speeches categorized into 6 broad sections. And France has said that there was absolutely no pressure on it for selecting an offset partner in the Rafale jet deal. The French government's strong assertion comes a day after the much-awaited CAG report showed that the Rafale jet deal signed by the Modi government to procure 36 fighter jets from France's Dassault got 2.86% cheaper price than what was negotiated during the previous UPA regime in 2007. At an interaction with journalists, French ambassador to India, Alexander Ziegler, asserted that there was nothing stronger in his country's system than an intergovernmental agreement that protects the deal. Remember, India had signed an intergovernmental agreement with France in September 2016 for acquiring 36 Rafale fighter jets in flyaway conditions for $7.87 billion. The deal was meant to meet the urgent operational requirements of the Indian Air Force, which has been facing depleting strength on its fighter squadrons. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Midday News. Thanks for watching.